Welcome to Judge of Ghana TV. Akwaba Eba, Judge of Ghana TV. So it seems that independent presidential candidate Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen of Movement for Change is on the media campaign trail again and has been so for the last few days. I've just seen that he's been on JoyNews, so I've got some snippets from him there, and he's also been on KSM, Kweku Sintim Misa's show, and he's also been on Kwejo Sheldon's show. So Convo with the head. So Alan is really gingering up after filing his nomination at the Electoral Commission to contest for the December 7th, 2024 presidency of the Republic of Ghana. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Incredible interviews. And Alan is such a gentleman. Even when he's answering difficult questions about controversies, he's so measured about it. And when it comes to um, explaining his track record and his the plans he has, he's so eloquent about it. Wow. If we had a leader like this in this country, if all our leaders were like Alan, I'm sure Ghana will surely rise again. Wow. I love this man's attitude and I love the way he does things. He's so practical, he's so hardworking, he's so bright. Eh? In fact, sɛ nyame ama nipa binom nimdeɛ o. Obi a ɔkɔ secondary school at the age of 9. Alan, wabin ankasa. Wabin sɛ gya. Oh yeah, wabin ankasa. Nyansa de nyame de ama no. Ɛna wɔwɔ ahobrɛase. Ah, me se ɛnyɛ saa fake ahobrɛase a nkurɔfoɔ binom ɛyɛ no wɔ hɔ no o. Ɔhu ewiase adeɛ a nyame frɛ no ahobrɛase no, ɛnyɛ saa na nipa hu ahobrɛase o. Wohwɛ Bible mu a sɛna twɛdeɛ mpo Nyankopɔn ɔfrɛ Moses no, ɛnyɛ saa na nipa hu Moses. Hmm? God described Moses as the meekest man on earth. But in the physical no, almost Moses was short temper. Ibufu ntɛm, sisi a na wapae. Literally wɔbɛpae stones na Ten Commanders wɔ so no wɔbɛpae no. Sisi a na ne bu afu na ɔbɔ mpae na ewiase apae mmienu na wakɔhyɛ mu na wawu. This was Moses for you. Ɔmpɛ nkwasiasɛm. But before God, he was the meekest man. So, sɛne nyame hu nneɛma na ɛnyɛ saa na nipa hu nneɛma, but to be honest, afei na mehu sɛ Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen ɛmfa ho a nipa a ɔbɛgyina n'anim ɛne n'akasa. Ɔkyɛn school teacher, ɔbɛkyerɛ wo adeɛ no mu, ɔkasa kama, wɔ abotrɛ, nyame nso ama ne nyansa. Wayɛ nneɛma pii ama ɛde mpuntu aba Africa ɛne Ghana. Oh, what a brilliant man. Enka ye leaders na te sɛ Alan a megye sɛ Ghana bɛkɔ yie pa. Ɛwɔ sɛ yɛbɔ yɛn nsɛm ma no. Nti mɛma mo etie ne nsɛm kakra a ɔde to dwa. Ɛnyɛ interview ni nyinaa, but mɛkyerɛ mo deɛ medwen sɛ ɛbɛboa na yɛtumi ama nkurɔfoɔ ate Alan. Adeɛ ne botaeɛ deɛ wɔde atu n'ani so sɛ ɔbɛyɛ ama ɔman Ghana. Nti wodeɛ ma yɛnkɔ kakra. Nti mɛkyerɛ ne nyinaa bi. Na wopɛ sɛ wokɔhwɛ the full thing a na wakɔ all the respective YouTube channels of the respective shows. Nti nyame nhyira mo na muntie nso. Like, share, subscribe. Me mentan nka saa adeɛ no because me no menya me adwuma sɛ mɛka nokorɛ akyerɛ nkurɔfoɔ ɛfa amambuo mu. But me no, of course, all like, subscribe and share ɛbɛboa. Nti nyame nhyira wo sɛ walike, wasubscribe, washare, ɛna wacomment. Nyame nhyira mu nyinaa. Nti muntie de Alan so keka. Na sɛ ɔwɔ sɛ meba mu a mɛba mu. Sɛ ɛho nhia nso a yɛbɛtoa so. Here are snippets from JoyNews on Alan.
Thank you for your time here on Newstex.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Yes, it is. Congratulations on the filing of your nomination.
Thank you very much.
You made a lot of revelations during the filing, especially with who you decide to be your right-hand man, KOD. Why KOD though?
Well, I've made a commitment to become a transitional president if I'm voted into power. A transitional president in the sense that I genuinely believe that it is our responsibility as political leaders to chart a path forward for the young people of this country. And why do I say so? If you look at the voter statistics for the 2020 general election, out of the 17 million registered voters, 10 million out of that were aged between 18 and 35. 10 million out of the 17 million. If you escalate it to 45, that's 18 to 45, you can imagine you'll be running into maybe 13 million out of the 17 million. So there's a compelling case for any serious forward-looking politician to appreciate the fact that we need to get the youth at the center of our development agenda. The future belongs to them. And that is why I made a public commitment to make sure that I pick a demonstrably young person, and I'm choosing my words carefully, demonstrably young person, because somehow I think I can say I'm a young man.
Yes, you are, indeed.
But demonstrably young person. And that is why I picked on Killed, a great guy. He's a professional, he's a corporate lawyer, he's a corporate executive. But you know, incidentally, he's also a broadcast journalist. And he's a political activist. So he comes to this ticket with different strategic interests. And for me, that is what we need in a young person who potentially could also lead the country.
Why do I feel that when Alan explains things, he explains things like a teacher? I'm going to call him Teacher Alan from now on.
Your 10-point plan for youth engagement. I'm going through it as we speak. One of your standout proposals I'm seeing here is to establish a traders bank to support the informal trading sector, especially youth entrepreneurs. And I'm quite interested in this because I'm wondering, how would this differ from existing financial systems?
Number one, 70 to 80% of all young people, skilled, unskilled, are in trading or in commerce. I would have wished that many more of these young people would have transitioned, let's say, into manufacturing, into agriculture, into tourism, other sectors of the economy. But that's what it is now. The majority of them are trading. And you can see, you go into the streets, you go into the markets, they are trading. Now, so anybody who is engaged in trading will tell you that the most important requirement for them to succeed is cash, is money. And unfortunately, our banks do not have the interest, the appetite to lend to young people, particularly those in commerce. They are not bankable as far as the banks are concerned. And that's why you find that many of the people who are trading, particularly the young ones, have very little capital. But it doesn't make sense. if this is basically the majority of your population and your future, and they decide to remain in commerce, then you have to provide the opportunity for them to have access to capital. And that is why I have made a commitment to establish a traders bank. A traders bank meaning that this is government supporting the trading community to establish their own bank. This is not a state bank, but this is government providing them with a seed funding to establish their own bank, which will then benefit the young people because the young people are excluded to a large extent from the formal banking sector.
But what will government get the seed funding for?
Interesting. Last time I came, I told Aisha that we have such excellent resource here in multimedia. I'm just waiting to rope all of you into my government because your insight is fantastic. Yes,
Thank you.
government has resources, partly from the revenue that they mobilize from taxes and other sources. And they also have the capacity to actually mobilize money from development financial institutions. And depending on the strategic orientation of every government, they can decide where to deploy those resources. That's income from revenue or from other sources. I believe that if we are looking at the strategic interests of the commercial and trading sector, then government must prioritize the deployment of such resources in supporting traders to have their own. But remember, if traders have to borrow at very high interest rates, then obviously the cost of capital for them will be high, meaning that they would also pass this on to consumers. And they are the channel for every individual in Ghana to be able to buy goods and services. So if they borrow at high interest rates, then obviously they will pass it on. And that also then becomes inflationary, it causes inflation. So it makes a lot of economic sense that if those in the trading sector and in commerce are able to borrow at reasonable rates, then they could also sell and market their goods at reasonable prices. So there's a connection between inflation and the cost of capital for those in the trading sector. But of course, please don't get me wrong, this is not free money.
Okay, you pay back.
Yes, this is government providing seed funding on a work and pay basis. And can you imagine the anonymity or the strength of people in commerce, in trading, and that if we mobilize all of them and we provide that seed funding and help them to set up professionally, a trading bank, as I'm suggesting, it will probably become the biggest bank, not a state enterprise. All we need is to help them to start. And when they start, even with the susu, yes, they mobilize small monies and then they take off.
Now, snippets from the KSM show with Alan.
But some of the subsequent decisions that were made were completely out of sync with my values and my tradition. So, for example, I bring an idea of one district, one factory. Brilliant idea. Incidentally, this being my brainchild was actually I started it in President Kufuor's regime, way back in 2004. Can you believe that after having come into power, The one district, one factory idea, which was going to be the mainstream project, a secretariat was set up in the office of the president to run one district, one factory. I said, over my dead one, you don't play that kind of game with me. I said, look, this is the mainstream activity of the ministry. Who have you ever heard businessmen going to office of the president to do what? What is the capacity of the office of the president to run an industrial project? That's why I said, no, it is wrong. It doesn't make sense. How does the office of the president now become the controlling agency for what capacity do you have in the office of the president to be running an industrial project? We fought over this for 3, 4 years. I'm saying this openly because no one can challenge it. Everybody in the party knows about it. Look, can you believe that? With all the noise we made about one district, one factory, 2017, first year in office, not even one cedi was allocated
The office.
to the one district, one factory program. Not even one cedi. If you look at all the flagship programs, free SHS, the least funded project was the one district, one factory.
Because
Because you are asking me, why? Why would we do that in a political party, especially not to somebody who has been a major pillar in the party? But people may look and see me as a gentleman and things like that. But you don't play that kind of game with me. Look, I've been around, not only in Ghana, in Africa, internationally, very well respected all over the world. You can't play that kind of game. So fast forward, in the same government, we are doing this. There was a point in time where, at the beginning, they created a Ministry of Business Development. I went to the president and asked him, you have Ministry of Trade and Industry. What's the purpose of the Ministry of Business Development?
Hey, the next course were NPP ni. Is that how what was going on in NPP? Wow. Hmm. Rotten apples. Rotten apples in New Patriotic Party. Hey, no wonder Napo said the genesis of New Patriotic Party today started in 2011 in a hotel in Bolga, where he sat with Nanado in the canteen of a famous hotel in Bolga, and they plotted how they were going to ensure, handpick and select using whatever means necessary, using mafia tactics to ensure that Nanado leads the party for Vice President Dr. Baumia and Napo, and a third person who is he left unnamed. So, Teacher Alan, that is the new name I'm giving to you. Teacher Alan, you thought that you were playing team game, but they were playing solo. And this is what they've done. These people are terrible human beings. They have no moral fiber in them. It is clear. If this is what happened, and I believe Chief Alan, I believe Teacher Alan, he's got no reason to lie. Thank God you're out of there. There are so many rotten apples in that place. You know, micromanaging New Patriotic Party. What a shame. This is disgraceful behavior from so called leaders. Chief Alan, we're 100% behind you. Not even one Ghana Peswa was allocated to one district, one factory in 2017. These are the words of Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen, the leader and founder of Movement for Change. This is his experience of what sabotage went on in the new Patriotic Party under the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. This summarizes the corrupt nature of this regime. And if anybody can stand anywhere and say Alan is not justified for leaving New Patriotic Party, resigning in September 2023, they need their head examined.
Going on over the years, Alan has always been a target. And the part of the mistake they were making was because somehow they thought that Alan was a creation of President Kufuor. You see, right from that, has always been that. And I keep on to ask President Kufuor himself. I was the first person he appointed as minister. I refused when he came into office in 2001. So I said that no. If you want to make somebody the leader of the party without giving us anybody the fair chance, go ahead. I'll leave. I'll leave. I don't need. I mean, I've done what I can, but I do not condone this kind of, you know. That's why I left. But the NPP, which I found, I helped to found, has no resemblance to the NPP now. I tell you, it has no resemblance. They lost the values, everything. The party has made him big. The party has made me big. Do they know who Alan was before NPP even came into existence? That I should be grateful to the party. I should be grateful to the party. They don't know where I came from. Who should be grateful to whom? NDC, NPP, they keep on boasting. We have 45%. They don't have any 45%. I can tell you. I mean, I've been a founding member of NPP. The NPP, and I'm sure it's the same thing with NDC, does not have more than 1 million committed voters. 1 million, they don't have. Today, people are still talking NDC, NPP.
Yeah.
After all these years, Ghanaians, you are talking NDC, NPP. Are you not learning? Are you not learning?
Yeah.
NDC and NPP, they are declining parties. There's no future. So if you bow down to the sunset, which is both NDC and NPP, then you have yourself to blame. So if anybody tells you, like we have now in our so-called National Development Plan, they are talking about 2050, that means that they don't know what they are talking about. This country, with this GTP, 3 to 5 years, you see the transformation.
In Christ the solid rock I stand, all other ground is sinking sand. All other ground is sinking sand. Hey, their course were NPP, their course were NPP, no. Hey, in fact, these two parties, New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress, I concur, I agree with Alan. These two parties are sinking sand. They are going down. Alan's interview with KSM was very insightful. KSM was able to get into what really happened that led to Alan resigning from New Patriotic Party. Semunra Mate, Alan say, NPP, New Patriotic Party, enye the same New Patriotic Obwa Emma Omo found ye in 1992. Na the New Patriotic Party esi hɔ no, adani bibi wɔ hɔ. A question mark kɛse wɔ so. Nti mo a modi saa monster decrepit New Patriotic Party na ɛwɔ hɔ no. Already no mo de mo akɔhyɛ ditch mu because nneɛma nkɔ yie wɔ ɔman no mu. Ɔmo nim deɛ ɔmo yɛ. Ɔmo yɛ ahantan. Ɔmo mboa adeɛ. Ɔmo dwen sɛ ɔmo nim sɛ ɔmo nim hwee. Ɔmo treating nkurɔfoɔ bad. Woyɛ ɔmo papa na ɔmo de bɔne atua wo ka. This is the current leaders of New Patriotic Party. Nti sɛ wowɔ mu a hwɛ yie because ɔmo de wobɛsi no parking. Yɛn nkɔlaa ne na yɛde wobɛsi no parking. Yes. Ɔmo yɛ nkurɔfoɔ a As Super Odi said, "Uye me boni a me too wig, omonya papa." Yes. Saa na omote mafia for kwa negu New Patriotic Party mu. Yes, say dear, yetie Alan enu masem. Wa confirm nneɛma na yenim sɛ ɔmo yɛɛyɛ no. Na there's nothing like hearing it straight from the horse's mouth. Alan ayɛ adeɛ pa. Nyame nhyira no sɛ otumi free New Patriotic Party mu because sɛ wo party no atete apansam te sɛ saa current New Patriotic Party a ɛnde ɛyɛ sɛ wobɛpaake wo nneɛma no wobɛfiri mu. Mo wayɛ adeɛ. Obiara yɛnda Nyame ase sɛ Alan tumi free mu. Awurade yɛda wo ase sɛ Alan tumi free saa mbɔnsɛm gye mu wɔ New Patriotic Party. Party bansa wei. Na obi nkurɔfoɔ di akyire. Ɔmo nim hwee. Ɛna nkwasi akeka. Foolish talk nkwa. Hwɛ deɛ ɔmo running mate ɛne ɔmo flag bearer crowd deɛ ɔkeka. Ɔmo nim deɛ ɔmo keka. Ɔmo yɛ jokers, comedians. Little and large, the two Ronnies. Charlie Chaplin nsɛm na ɔmo yɛ wɔ hɔ no wɔ New Patriotic Party. Wei, yɛde win election. Yɛde win presidency. Wei, saa jokers wei. So in fact, saa nkurɔfoɔ yi tumi retain presidency no a na kyerɛ sɛ Ghana. We don't think far. Ɛyɛ nimguase, ɔmo yɛ nimguase ankasa ma ɔman no. Ɔmo nim hwee. Nimdeɛ po ɔmo ni bi. Ɔmo nkasa yie kra. Vice President Baumia ne Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempenapo. Oh, thank God that Alan is out of there. Truly, those parties, New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress, they are truly going down. Say CPP by a true stage, a big parties, say, and then so a form. So na New Patriotic Party ebe form and a National Democratic Congress ebe form. So we are here. The world is round. The sun night comes and day comes. Inti uya denya, nothing will be the same forever. And this is what is happening to these two duopoly. Nyame ye ne dwuma, cause nyame de open righteousness and justice. Na se mo se mo for righteousness and justice enye dwuma ewo duopoly no mu a, and they say nimguase na beka mo. Now let's look at what happened with Kojo Sheldon's interview of Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen. Movement for Change. Alan explains to Kojo Sheldon how he got the nickname Alan Cash. Let's take a listen.
One person that has put out, 10 pointers, actionable plans for the youth that we need to concentrate on and have a conversation about is the leader for Movement for Change. Now, he introduced us to the Great Transformational Plan. And in it, we have 10 pointers that he's outlined for the youth, that this is what I'm going to do for the youth. And as a result of this, you guys should, vote for me based on these things. Now, I have him here with me, and we are going to have a conversation about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, my name is Kwadwo Sheldon, and I'm here with Mr. Alan Kwadwo Kyerematen, leader for the Movement for Change. Say, welcome.
Okay. People are not sure why I'm called Alan Cash, but I have to use this question to explain to you.
Yes. Has it affected you? Has the name affected you, though?
Well, you wait now. You wait now. In 2004, 2005, there were like 10 to 12 key figures in government, leading ministers, who had all shown interest in campaigning to succeed President Kufuor. And I was one of them. Yeah. I was Minister for Trade and Industry at that time, and the current president was the Minister for Foreign Affairs. So if you had 17 leading figures contesting for a position, then you realize that you need to be able to kind of scatter them. scatter them complete and disrupt them.
We
You know,
understand.
but because of my background in management, I decided that I'll apply some management principles which will confuse them. So even with the little funds that I had, I was able to brand my campaign and create the image of somebody who had resources and who was doing. Meanwhile, people were spending more than I was doing. So when I step out and the moves that I were making, it was confusing them. So I just said, okay, if that's what you think, that's fine. Oh, then everybody started loving it.
Yeah.
Oh, also for no, cash for the bishops. Judges, cash for the judges.
Okay.
So so I'm a grassroots person.
Yeah.
I may not look like that, but I'm very grassroots.
Yeah.
There's no village in this country where I would go and I will not be recognized or they will not remember my name. So I've had that experience for all these years. So now that I decided I'll get back into the game, it has not been difficult for me. But of course, I do things and never take anything for granted. So it's gone very well. And to also, I have to be, the circumstances in the country right now has created a compelling narrative for me. Because if you have two dominant parties, NDC and NPP, who have been in power for 32 years, and still we are in economic crisis, and still we cannot keep the lights on, and still we don't have water, still we cannot even feed ourselves. We are damaging our environment. After 32 years, two dominant parties. So
when Alan resigned from New Patriotic Party, NPP, last year in September, he actually saw that the glass was half full, not half empty. So in life, it depends on how you see things. That's why the Bible says, in all things good, give thanks, because if you see things as an opportunity rather than a block, you'll find a way out of the situation, and God will surely make a way for you. It's the same situation that Moses had when he was stuck at the Red Sea and he didn't know what to do. He yelled out to the Most High God, and God told him, "What do you have in your hands?" And then God told him to stretch his stick across the water. And a miracle happened, and the water parted into two, and Moses and the people of Israel could cross over safely. And that same peaceful crossover, which was engineered by the Most High God, by Him making a way in the waters, parting the waters, became a death trap for those who were chasing them to do them harm. The Egyptians who tried to chase after them. The waters became a death trap because the difference between Moses and the people of Israel is that God was with them. But those that God wasn't with, the waters came and swallowed them up. So some things, if you're a true Christian, all things work for your good. But if your intentions are evil, then God scatters it. As he says in the book of Job, I think it's Job 12:25, it says, God catches the crafty in their craftiness. So when you live on this earth, it's good to have a clean heart and a clean mind. And you can see from the way Alan talks, he's a very reasonable man. He thinks deeply about matters. And he tries to reason with people, but in life, it's so difficult to reason with an unreasonable person. And unfortunately, the people he met in this new patriotic party, which is not like the original new patriotic party, these people are totally at odds with the culture of new patriotic party. They're a law unto themselves. They're almost like thugs.
or change is heading towards. Because at some point,
Yeah,
you
you're
would
right.
want to. I was going to ask you a question about mobilization.
Okay.
You said you're a grassroots person,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And you know the importance of grassroots
Yes,
grassroots politics.
mobilization.
Now you need to go down there, have party structures.
Yes.
If you want to win and
Yeah.
win convincingly,
Yes, yeah.
you need the grassroots
Yeah.
people. Setting up party structures.
Yeah.
How is day for movement for change? Because you can go into the constituency and just campaign to them, but you need representation. How
Excellent.
has it been?
Because you see, and I'm happy that you've brought this up.
Yeah.
When people hear about movement because they think it is on their party, they feel that, oh, where are your structures?
Yeah.
Look, the kind of movement and the organization I have on the ground is deeper than NDC and NPP. I'm telling you.
Based on what metrics?
You see, because I cannot challenge the status quo of a duopoly of NDC and PP and come again talking about the same party structure. If you are challenging the status of it, you have to create a different. But that has nothing to do with the substance and the structure of your organization. Look, the so-called structure that you think the big parties are, they don't have change. They don't have anything.
They have party offices.
Oh, my brother, I'm telling you, me, I've been there.
You've been there.
They say police station executives.
Yes.
I'm chairman of this thing. Do you know how the police station executives are selected?
No, please.
Sit down. In some cases, they just write. If you go, one person, he says he's chairman. They write down his wife, his children, their police station. They don't do any work. I'm telling you, it is in name. You see, and the reason why Ghanaians, I think, should take what I'm saying very seriously.
Yeah.
You think that they are structures, and they are there in name. Because when it comes to primaries, people use money to create an album and they put some names there.
Yeah.
And you think that none of these parties understand what it is to do real house to house. Because the people who you claim are there as grassroots, are they not the ones who have been complaining? I don't know the ones who have been complaining.
Yes.
So if they are there really,
but maybe they are blinded by political colors. They view things through political lenses. So I'm suffering. Yes, I'm suffering, but my party is NPP. NDC, I'll vote for them.
The scales are falling off their eyes now.
Okay.
Yes. If after 32 years you are still complaining, so then political color you talk.
Interesting insights.
So I have volunteers at the minutest level in the structure.
Yeah.
And these are people who believe in my cause and they've dedicated themselves to my cause. And so they are on the ground. So don't be deceived by the fact that, oh, this is a political party, this is a movement. The structure that I have on the ground, it is deeper than a political organization.
Are they compensated?
No, you see, but that's the difference.
So I want to know that.
No, but you're right.
With this side, they are compensated.
You're doing some very serious political analysis.
Yes, I know. Because
You see, look, I mean, I've done interviews.
Yes. Yeah.
Some people, when they get mic,
they
are just running their mouth. But you are going deep. Again, what you are saying now will be some questions.
It's like Kyerematen, we need to do. We have to do the job, the groundwork.
So what I'm saying is that what the structures that I have on the ground is based on volunteerism.
Political volunteerism.
Political volunteerism.
What do you sell to them?
Yes.
What do you tell them?
Hope. And that Ghana will rise again.
we will rise. Are we down?
And that in spite, we are down.
Yeah, that form.
We are, I don't know the worst form of down.
Down flat.
Down flat. We've gone ground zero and below. But are you not aware?
Let me just, I'm a neutral person.
Oh, you.
But I know what you're talking about.
Please.
We have to be honest.
Let's be honest about this. Even NPP leaders,
they know. They've admitted.
They've admitted.
Yeah.
So let us not deceive ourselves.
Yeah.
Things are so bad now that, in fact, there is no justification, or the NPP, for example, should not have any moral authority to say that they want to come and continue.
That's a bold statement.
But that's, look, and the alternative also cannot be NDC. The NPP, they don't have any case at all.
They don't have any case.
They don't have any
no
case.
Grounds to campaign.
No grounds, because I'm sure I said to them,
okay,
you are feeling it. It is not about Allah wanting to be president. It's about what is your own condition in life now. If Oyari say, and they ask you to go and do a lab test, you go die.
Hey.
You say, hey.
I'm saying, no, me pie me man.
The true lab test, my brother.
I'll say to me yesterday because the situation is so bad in this country. Bibi Uncle Ye, I saw it yesterday. You just have to make it laugh because the Bible says laughter is good medicine. So, despite the troubles that one is going through, one must always try to laugh. But things are really, really bad. I agree totally with teacher Alan.
You are finished. So all I'm saying is that as for NPP, they should not even talk. Me, I've been a founding member of the party. I know where we started from, But it doesn't mean that NDC is the alternative, because they have been in the same situation. They left after 8 years with Ghana having to go to IMF.
Okay.
So the value is the same. Whether it's
the NPP too went to IMF.
Yes, but NPP is there now.
Yeah.
NDC, before they left, they took us to IMF.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
Okay.
If Ghanaians want to be really fair, as for those two, they shouldn't be. No option. Because both of them, after 8 years, they land you in IMF. They land you in crisis. So what is the basis for even contemplating that it is an option to bring them back? You understand me?
Yes.
So this is where the narrative about Alan becomes important.
Light now. Okay, Abba. It's the Ghana that you are talking about. That is what Ghana just happened to us, but the lights are back. But so.
Me say wanwa. Hey. Sena kanye to me doom ye. Abra Alan John Kwadwo Kyerematen one Kwadwo Sheldon interview. Wonders will never cease. Alan, enyo no kwa no namo. Twede ampon Yankopon basa yedom ene nenenam. Me say nyame opese ogu saa diopoli NPP ni NDC enuma ase a hwe kwan a nyame de afa so. This is evidence of signs and wonders following Alan. Yen tuntia sa nkrofo wenum. NDC, NPP, New Patriotic Party, National Democratic Congress, the value is the same.
Digital revolution, jobs, housing, Alan's 10-point plan for the youth. Ghanaian youth stand at the crossroads of an era packed with untapped potential, and Alan's 10-point plan for youth empowerment offers a clear path to success. The butterfly vision, driven by the belief that the youth are the heartbeat of the nation's future, is delivering a blueprint that speaks directly to the aspirations and dreams of young people. The plan covers everything from financial support for startups to housing, offering tangible solutions to the most pressing issues facing the youth today. For those who dare to dream, this is a call to action. Alan's promise of financial assistance for youth businesses and business development support for startups is designed to ignite the entrepreneurial spirit within Ghana's young generation. With the right financial backing and professional guidance through the business resource centers, youth-led enterprises will no longer be just ideas on paper but thriving ventures contributing to the economy. This plan will provide the tools and resources necessary to turn passion projects into profitable businesses, creating lasting employment and wealth. A year ago, on the 25th of September, 2023, he announced the formation of the Movement for Change. But the vision goes beyond business. The promise of jobs for the youth in various sectors ensures no one is left behind. Alan has pledged support for youth in sports, tourism, and the creative industry, sectors brimming with untapped potential that can unlock thousands of jobs. With strategic investments, sports facilities, tourism hubs, and platforms for creative talents will rise across the country, becoming magnets for youth engagement and employment. At the core of this plan is the digital revolution, a pivotal move that empowers young people to compete in a rapidly changing world. From skills development to leadership and governance opportunities, Alan, as a transitional leader, is equipping the youth with the tools to lead, innovate, and govern. By embracing the digital era, Ghana's youth will not only participate in global economies but lead the charge in Africa's technological transformation. At the core of this plan is the digital revolution, a pivotal move that empowers young people. More than just policies, this is a shift in mindset. Alan's focus on youth orientation and mindset change ensures that Ghanaian youth will be forward-thinking, patriotic, disciplined, law-abiding and ready to take on leadership roles. With his plan, the youth can look forward to a future where housing for the youth becomes a reality, and their voices matter, their talents are nurtured, and their contributions recognized. This is the future Alan is building, a future where the youth are at the helm, steering the nation towards greatness. Alan's 10 points youth empowerment plan is built on 1. Financial assistance for youth businesses. 2. Business development support for youth startups. 3. Jobs for the youth. 4. Youth in sports. 5. Skills development for the youth. 6. Housing for the youth. 7. Youth in tourism and the creative industry. 8. Youth and the digital revolution. 9. Youth in leadership and governance. 10. Youth orientation and mindset change. Alan's 10-point youth empowerment plan offers a comprehensive roadmap to uplift Ghana's youth, addressing both immediate needs and long-term aspirations. By focusing on entrepreneurship, job creation, digital skills, and mindset transformation, this vision seeks to unlock the immense potential within the young generation. As the future of the nation, Ghanaian youth are poised to lead in innovation, industry, and governance, with the tools and support they need to build a prosperous future for themselves and the country.
All the interviews with John Kwadwo Kyerematen on the varying media platforms this past week were all very, very insightful. From his words on KSM, and then Kojo Sheldon, and then on JoyNews news desk. We he espoused on what he has planned in his great transformational plan for the people of Ghana, and he talked about many, many things, including the hot topic at the moment, Galamsey. However, for the purposes of this episode, I'm going to end things here. This is just a little summary of what Alan discussed on the various platforms. I'll do a special episode on Alan's perspective on how to handle Galamsey and eradicate it. If you like this type of content, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Bye for now. See you in the next episode. Bye for now.